In 2003, Lego had $220 million in debt, a CEO who just quit, and 11 months before the company might have ceased to exist entirely. You know what saved it? A grandson, his own personal money, and a bold, risky decision that most business schools would probably tell you never to make. Hi, I'm Lina, and I explain the stories that make you go, wait, really? And I promise you, by the end of this video, you will never stand on a Lego brick in the middle of the night and feel the same way about it again. Let's go back to where this all started. 1932, Billund, Denmark, middle of absolutely nowhere. The world is in the grip of the Great Depression. A carpenter named Ole Kirk Christiansen builds wooden furniture. Good quality stuff. But nobody needs a new wardrobe when they can't put food on the table. The orders disappear while bills keep growing. Most people in that situation contract. They cut everything, wait for things to improve. Ole did the opposite. He looked at his leftover wood scraps and thought, what's the smallest, most joyful thing I can make that people will still want to buy, even now? Toys. 2 years later, in 1934, Ole names his little company after the Danish phrase "leg godt," Lego, play well. What he didn't realize is that in Latin, Lego also means I put together. Now think about this. Lego has produced over 400 billion bricks in the last 50 years. That's about 52 bricks for every person on Earth today. And yet, when Ole first started, he sometimes took potatoes as payment from local farmers. But before plastic bricks and global domination, there was a fire. In 1942, Ole's workshop burned to the ground. Everything was gone. He had already survived the Great Depression, and now this. Most people would have stopped. Ole didn't. He rebuilt again and bigger than before. Ole had a motto: only the best is good enough. He didn't write it for investors. He wrote it because he was a stubborn Danish carpenter who refused to make something he wasn't proud of, even after the fire. That motto still hangs in Lego's offices today. 1947. A new technology is arriving in Denmark, plastic injection molding. Ole buys one of the first machines in the country. For a small wooden toy company in the middle of nowhere, this is a significant financial gamble. He starts making plastic bricks, and here's something Lego will never put in a press release. The early bricks were terrible. Toy shops returned them. Experts wrote in print that plastic would never replace wood as a toy material. Ole's son, Gottfried, refuses to accept failure. He spends years refining the design. And then, in 1958, he gets it exactly right. Hollow tubes inside that lock against the studs on top. Firm enough to hold, easy enough for a child to separate. In a world where your smartphone is obsolete in 2 years, a plastic brick from 1958 is still considered perfect. Lego makes roughly 1,140 bricks every second. And nearly all of its plastic waste, 99%, is recycled. By 2003, Lego expanded into everything: theme parks, clothing, video games, jewelry. There's a psychological phenomenon called brand overextension. It happens when a company becomes so successful it believes its name alone can sell anything. The bricks were still great. The problem was they forgot what they were actually for. By 2003, the deficit had reached $220 million. Ole's grandson, Kjeld Kirk Christiansen, steps in and puts up 800 million Danish kroner of his personal fortune, about $115 million. Kjeld looks at his grandfather's motto and decides the family should fight to save the company. He sells the Legoland theme parks, closes factories, lays off nearly 1,000 workers, always the hardest part, strips everything back to what it was always supposed to be: a toy company, the best toy company. Lego didn't recover by inventing something new. They stopped chasing ideas that weren't working and focused again on what did: the classic brick design from 1958. While many struggling companies try to innovate their way out of trouble, LEGO succeeded by simplifying. In 2011, LEGO launched Ninjago, which became its biggest product launch ever. Sales soared, and by 2014, LEGO had become the world's largest toy company by revenue, ahead of Mattel and Hasbro. By 2023, LEGO was worth about $9 billion. The company is still privately owned, still based in Billund, Denmark, and still run by the same family 4 generations later. So the next time you step on a Lego brick at 2 a.m. and wonder why you ever had kids, remember what that little brick survived to get there. The Great Depression, a carpenter paid in potatoes, a factory fire, $220 million in debt, and a family that chose to keep going instead of giving up. I'm Lina, and now you know. If this made you go, wait, really? Subscribe, because next time I'm explaining a company that took out a full-page ad on the biggest shopping day of the year telling you not to buy their product, and still made millions. How does that work? I'll tell you next time.